Qatar should finance the US military's presence in Syria and send its own military forces there before the US president lifts American protection for Qatar. If the US is to withdraw its protection, represented by its military base in Qatar, then the regime there will fall within less than a week.
This comes as we've heard different words from Trump, basically giving the impression he's still making up his mind about whether or not to withdraw U.S. forces from Syria. He's been talking about it in terms of very soon, relatively soon. It's not exactly clear. Now, we did hear Trump say that if Saudi Arabia wants the USA to maintain a military presence in Syria, that they should help pay for it.
We'll be making a decision very quickly in coordination with others in the area as to what we'll do. Saudi Arabia is very interested in our decision. And I said, well, you want us to say maybe you're going to have to pay.
So now we hear the foreign minister of Saudi Arabia saying that their regional rival, Qatar, must share the burden of the fighting in Syria, or else there could be some rather harsh consequences. It's interesting to note, yesterday, Tuesday, Donald Trump was at the White House speaking with the French President Macron, and he seemed to indicate that there were other countries that had been approached by the United States about increasing their role in Syria financially as well as militarily. There's talk of the prospects of an Arab coalition in the works for Syria. Now, this is certainly not the first point of disagreement between Qatar and Saudi Arabia. Folks will recall over a year ago there was a falling out between the two countries, and that resulted in a number of countries cutting off diplomatic relations with Qatar, including Saudi Arabia. And during that spat, we heard then Donald Trump unprecedentedly accusing Qatar of funding terrorism. Now, Qatar said that they absolutely are not funding terrorism, and that statement from Trump was simply inaccurate. So now we've heard these very, very dramatic words from Saudi Arabia's foreign minister. We're waiting to see what comes next.